I think the games will feel a bit different with no crowds, but also I think cricket is in a slightly different position to the sports like football and rugby, and the fact that our domestic game in red ball cricket, a lot of the time we play in front of smaller crowds, so we're not relying on the atmosphere or the crowds to drive us forward, to drive our skill forward and momentum forward. But international cricket, it certainly will it'll be more of a mental test to make sure that each player's right up for the battle, and I'm very aware of that. I've already spoken to our sports psychologist about creating a bit of a mindset around making sure I can get my emotions up to where they need to be for me to perform at my best, because I know that I'm not. If you put me in a Ashes game or a pre-season friendly, I know which one I'll perform better in. So I've got to make sure that my emotions are where they need to be for an international test match, and that's something that I started working on in early June. It's almost like creating a bubble around yourself as an individual, and finding what little things give you that competitive edge. For a batsman, it might be that walk to the middle is actually crucial to be able to get the mind really switched on. For me as a bowler, it will be going through a similar routine leading into a spell to make sure physically I'm very up for the battle, and I'm mentally switched on to what I'm doing. I think maybe it might involve doing even more research into the opposition's batsman's strengths and weaknesses. So I'm very much focused on getting in a competitive battle with the batsman, instead of sometimes relying on the crowd to get your emotions going to be able to bowl at your best. So it is going to be a different challenge for everybody. I think there are going to be times that it might feel a bit well, obviously the ground will feel empty at all times, but there might be times where the mind might drift further than it would do in a normal test match. But that's where we've got to be so strong as individuals to not let that happen. Yeah, Ben will be absolutely fine. I think the toughest part of having watched a lot of captains captain England in the test match stuff is that a lot of the toughest part of the job is actually off the field. A lot of extra meetings, planning, all that sort of thing, which Stokesy won't have to get too involved in. So Stokesy's got a really good cricket brain. He's someone that's grown and matured incredibly over the last 3 or 4 years, and to come in and captain one game, I think he'll find very easy. Hard to make predictions on who we're thinking for the first test, but from the training that I've seen, it's pretty impressive, the bowling that's going around. I bowled with Mark Wood a couple of days ago, and he bowled beautifully. Great control, brilliant pace. But also with the amount of players we've got here, it does sort of limit you a little bit of who you're training with. But one thing's for sure, there doesn't seem to be a panic in strength and depth in English fast bowling. Obviously, we've all come here fit and fresh. That's quite rare for fast bowling, like a group that everyone's fit and ready to go. And as we touched on, I think Chris mentioned about Australia in 18 months' time. The dream ticket there is to be boarding a flight to Perth for a warm-up or wherever we're going, ready for Brisbane, and having this lot of fast bowlers fit and ready to go. That's sort of the aim for English cricket. Can we go to Brisbane having Ollie Stone, Joff, Mark Wood, these sort of pace guys, Wokes, Curran, Broad, Anderson, everyone fit, fresh, ready to go. And if we can do that, we've got a chance of winning there.